Welcome to Jody Halo Show. Today we have a special guest, Canadian musician Marc Marut. Marc, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Jody, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm surprised to see you over there. I'm surprised. Is Canada pissed at you right now? Is there a lot of people like sending you death threats from some of these songs that you've written?
Fortunately, I'm pretty safe. Everyone's stuck at home, so they can't really come at me with the pitchforks, right?
Yeah, the bitchfork. Did you say the bitchfork or the pitchfork?
I tried to say pitchfork, but maybe it's the pitchfork. I don't know.
If you're unaware, Marc has a song right now that's called "Fuck You COVID-19," which I think we can all share that sentiment, and we're gonna watch that video here on the show. But also, in particular, there is a song here, and I'm gonna let Marc explain this. But the song's called "Song of a Bitch," and it's a little on the offensive side, maybe the chauvinistic side. Marc, what the hell are you thinking?
Well, there are people who have told me that they thought it was a little sexist. To which I had to explain, it's not about women in general. It's not calling women bitches. It's just about one particular girl who was a total bitch to me.
Right. So, all right. So this is where this story starts, right? So this girl can't defend herself. So, I guess she knows who she is. I mean, when I first thought it, I thought that maybe you were in love. This girl just ripped your heart out, and you're pissed. So you're like, I'm starting a Taylor Swift style career, and I'm gonna just take her out. Is that the idea? Tell me what was behind this. And does this girl know this? I mean, does her family? What's going on?
I fucking hope she does. First of all,
Marc's going to put his address at the bottom of this interview.
She wasn't an ex-girlfriend. She's not an ex-girlfriend. She was never. There was no romantic involvement. It was only like a platonic friendship, and we were good friends for quite a while, like probably a decade or so. The problem is she changed, and she became a royal bitch. Not just to me. To a lot of people. A lot of people had enough of her, and I was patient. I mean, I always
It's okay to call friends bitches, right? I mean, my friends, we call each other bitches. I mean, that's not a problem. But if I call my wife a bitch, I'd probably be like the one-armed man over here doing this interview.
And yet your wife is supposed to be your best friend.
She is.
I think there are times where you could call her and you get away with it, but let's not go
Marc's
into
house and what goes on there is not affiliated with the Jody Halo Show in any form or reasonable facsimile there, I think.
Full disclosure, right? Full
That's
disclosure.
Right. Check the file. So this lady, she obviously left quite an impression on you, though. I mean, to have something that's, it's a little fueled and steeped in a little anger.
I was a little pissed when I wrote it, but the funny thing is, it's not like I set out to write the song. Like I didn't sit down and go, oh, I'm gonna write something that's angry and that vents towards this girl. It just popped into my head. Lyrics, guitar solo, everything, and there was a lot of cursing and a lot of bad words, which, to be honest, I thought was pretty fucking funny. So I started laughing. And it got stuck in my head for, I think it was like a couple of months. And finally I decided, you know what? Screw it. I got to record this song, share it with the world, whatever the opinion of the world.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing, that's it. Art isn't supposed to be safe all the time, right? I mean, it's not, I don't think that it's all, dare I say, I'm actually sitting on a song right now that I wrote just completely taking a shit on the U.S. President Donald Trump, but I don't think I'm alone in that category. You know what I mean? This girl is obviously alone with the song that you're throwing darting a direction a bit. But
she doesn't have Fox News defending her,
Right, exactly. So we were actually going to try and get her on the show. I was trying to talk to your assistant and see if we could like get her on to surprise you, do like a Maury Povich thing. That's in America. That's like who's the father. Right. And have her like confront you. But I think that would be. I think that if the listeners want to see that, maybe that could be a part 2 of this, which would be, I don't know if you're willing to go.
Oh, the thing is, I don't talk to her anymore.
Right.
And I've had people ask me who she is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not willing to disclose that.
No?
No.
Too dangerous.
You know, I think if people knew the actual person that was the subject of that song, it would take away some of the mystery. It would take away some of the mystique and the beauty of the song. It's
Right.
kind of like Carly Simon, "You're So Vain."
Sure.
Nobody knows who that song's about. We have suspicions.
Carly, right?
Well, Carly knows. She's the only person she has.
Can we get Carly on the show? I want to find out. We've just got a whole new segment called "Come On, Spill Your Guts and Tell Us." No, but this song, you know, it's, you know, I like having the discussion at least, because you know, cross genres. You know, if this was hip hop music, bitches is used constantly. I mean, it's not a problem at all, it seems like, in hip hop and rap music to blatantly talk about bitches, be it male or female. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't gonna say, you know, I didn't know gender on you know, your end with the friend and everything, so I'm glad we got a little bit of that in there. But we're so you weren't in love with this lady, right? This was just platonic, like you said.
This was totally platonic. I helped her through a lot of things. She helped me through a lot of things. The problem is she became a complete bitch.
Right.
And I'm sorry, you know what, actually, the way that it specifically happened, and this, I remember at the time, you know, one of my friends said, "Oh, she unfriended you on Facebook? So now it's officially official."
Uh-oh.
You know?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. And one day, I think it was about like a month later or something, I was cleaning up the house, and all of a sudden my phone dinged, and I looked at it, and she had sent me a request to join my professional network on LinkedIn.
Oh no. And
I was a little shocked, and I fucking burst out laughing. Because it's like, what the fuck? You do this to me. You yell at me.
You friend me on Facebook, but add me on LinkedIn, where it seems to carry more of a professional, you know, I guess a professional facade at times, but still, it's more professionalism. I would hire someone from LinkedIn. I'm not gonna necessarily hire you from your Facebook profile, unless you're in the music industry. So just forget exactly what I said.
Yeah, Facebook's just all about creeping people, right?
Absolutely.
You know, but
I got you on the show.
I thought that was ridiculous that she had, you know, done this request, and so I burst out laughing, and the song popped into my head, you know, and I do more than call her a bitch. I use the C word.
Yeah, you did. So when we play the song on the show, just beware that you know, it's not about. I'm the last person that talks about fucking cussing in songs. I mean, most of my songs are explicit. And, you know, because it conveys emotion. That's part of what we do as artists, right? But
that's exactly it. You know, I mean, I've heard people argue that you can express yourself without cussing, but I disagree. I think that actually, I've even seen Tony Robbins, you know, do seminars, and he drops the F-bomb at exactly the right time, and it gives him more credibility. There are times where you just have to express yourself with curse words. And that's what happened. I mean, this isn't art that I sat down to create. This is art that just came out of nowhere, and it manifested itself in my brain. And I think that that's probably the truest form of expression. So I didn't want to fuck around with it. Absolutely. I wanted to leave it the way it was.
Right. So you talk about, I mean, you're obviously you're writing from an artist perspective. What got you into music in the first place? Give me a little background on what brought you into the fold, and you know, how you became so passionate about it and brought you to where you're at today.
Well, you know, ever since I was a little kid, I would have tunes just pop into my head, and music just naturally came to me. It was my biggest challenge was actually just figuring out how to take the music that was up here and put it into an instrument, you know? And then I was really lucky because when I was 9 years old, I got into musical theater completely by accident. I did an audition so I could get a Cub Scouts badge, and I got hired as one of the original cast members of the first Canadian production of Les Miserables. As
Les Mis.
Yeah, man. So
Interesting.
I worked with like some really, really top musicians, not only singers, but also working with people in the orchestra. I mean, they used to help me out.
What part of Canada is this that you're speaking of? I don't think I made that clear.
A very, very small town called Toronto.
Toronto. I know that is North Detroit.
It's like the New York of Canada, right?
Yeah, downtown Canada.
Basically, it's what the whole country revolves around. You know,
I've done my share of touring in Canada with Rockstar Supernova, the guitarist Lucas Rossi. That's from Toronto. Cool. So he showed us around Oshawa and around. So Canada's got a great personality. I think that like you're probably as a Canadian, and I don't mean to generalize this and to in any kind of way, but maybe there's just a little bit more laid back culture in Canada that's a little more susceptible to this versus U.S. The United States of America right now that's on edge about everything. I mean, so many things that are split and divisive, and that cause strife.
Yeah, I would say that Canada is, even though it's very different because it's a very large country. So depending on where you go in Canada, attitudes can be quite different. Culture can be very different, but it seems that politically we're a lot more united than our neighbors south of the border.
Absolutely.
I'm totally good with that because, man, in the words of Rodney King, can't we all just get along?
Let me tell you, until November of 2020, I don't suspect it, unfortunately, here. But hopefully, I hold out hope in this. So, but so you come around. You've been playing music since you're a little kid. You come up now. You've got songs that you're coming out and making a statement. What are the plans in the future for Mr. Marc Marut?
Well, the great thing about my style of songwriting is the music just comes to me, pops in my head, gets stuck there, and eventually I figure I've got to get it out of me, So I've actually got a bunch of other songs written that I plan on recording and that I plan on releasing as singles, and when
I get a little sneak peek into any subject matter that you're covering, so the crowd doesn't just like, oh, this chauvinistic asshole, like. Can you paint us a little more of a spectrum?
Let me see. I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't want to ruin the surprise, But let's just say that it's going to be some more upbeat, toe tapping, hard hitting rock and roll with some funny lyrics.
Nice. Right. That's it. I mean. I thought there was funny moments, especially the the pot smoking, like scantily clad chicks. That's as rock and roll as it gets, right? I mean, that's since the dawn of rock and roll. So,
oh man, I was so lucky with that because I got Natalie G, who models for Playboy, played the bitch in the video, and I got to tick one off the bucket list, which was having her dress up in a schoolgirl uniform, lie across my knee while I spanked her with a meter stick.
Yeah, it absolutely definitely took the calling her a bitch next level, to see it played out like that.
Well, and that's the thing is I mean, I have had some people tell me that they think that the lyrics are a bit sexist and such, and I wanted the video to show that it was meant to be humorous, Although, don't get me wrong, the girl that I wrote the song about is a total bitch.
He's not backing down, folks. Well, look, all right, so let's fast forward to the future here, though, okay? So now, I mean, you've got a Playboy centerfold. Maybe the song, hopefully if our audience will help, go check out the song. I highly recommend it. So never get comfortable by listening to songs. Listen to something that'll make you a little uncomfortable. It's good for you.
I think their jaw will hit the floor at first, and then they'll burst out laughing.
Absolutely. I mean, come on. I grew up with South Park. But, so, all right, we're going to, check out the songs. We've got Fuck You COVID-19, which is a fan video, miraculous fan video. People needed something to do, right? And we still kind of do. I think it's a wonderful idea to get your fans involved. Was that a lot of fun?
It was a ton of fun. And the big thing behind it, because of course I was actually set to record some other songs, And then COVID-19 hit, and I had to completely change my life. I'm like, fuck, now I'm ordering my groceries and I'm sanitizing them at the door, right? Like, so they would arrive, I'm sanitizing them, I'm putting them away.
I've got Clorox wipes sitting at my Publix bags right now.
Man, everything changed. And so by the time I finally settled into a routine, you know, I had Fuck You COVID-19 stuck in my head, and it was a great song. And that's when I realized I have to put all my other recording on pause and just record that one, because it was so relevant and so perfect. But then after I had the song made, I was thinking what type of a video to put to it. And of course, I can't get people together. I couldn't get a crew together and shoot anything, you know.
And you could, and the fans, they looked thrilled to be a part of it.
Oh man, they loved it. You know, I'm so blessed that I had some really creative people send in some footage that were really enthusiastic about being in the project, and that's what it was all about. It was all about showing that even though we're facing this situation where we all have to be isolated in our own homes, we can still do things together, and we can still collaborate and unite, you know? And that, I think, is a big part of the charm of the video.
Absolutely. So speaking of reunite, so
yeah.
once these songs start generating some income and like time soothes and heals all wounds, any chance of reconciliation with, what was her name again?
The bitch?
Oh yeah. Any chance of reconciliation?
No.
Any happy ending here?
Well, I've forgiven her, but I'm not going to forget.
All right, so there he is. This man stands up. He's got some stuff. You should check it out. Marc Marut. We're going to put links to everything down underneath the page. Marc, anything else you want to leave us with and leave the Jody Halo Show audience with today?
Just that I release my music under the name Cool Ass. So if you want to search for my stuff, just search Cool Ass, 2 words, Cool Ass TV. You'll find me. It's great.
So check out Cool Ass TV. Check out Fuck You COVID-19, and check out Song of a Bitch by Mr. Marc Marut. Thanks for being on the show today. Hopefully we'll get part 2 and get that lady in here.
My pleasure, man. Thank you.
You're a good sport, Marc. Thank you.